Welcome to the Daily English News program on Azərbaycan Televiziya. I'm Qocaman. President İlham signed an executive order on the additional measures to continue work on the reconstruction of highways in the fevralın district of Baku. According to the executive order, 1,400,000 manats were allocated to Azərbaycan Avtomobil Yolları State Agency. Military units of the armed forces of Armenia violated ceasefires 34 times throughout the day in various directions of the front using large caliber machine guns and sniper rifles. Armenian armed forces located in Mosazgev and Chinara villages of Berd region subjected to fire the positions of the Azerbaijani army located in Ağdam, Köxenebi villages of Tovuz region. The positions of Azerbaijani army were also fired from the positions of Armenian military units located near the occupied Göyarak Çilaburt villages of Tərtər region, Yusif Canlı village of Ağdam region, Qaraxanbəyli, Aşağı Seyid Əhmədli, Horadiz villages of Fizili region, as well as from the positions located on nameless hills in Tərtər and Hocavan regions, the Ministry of Defense reported. Despite the global economic recession caused by the pandemic, Azerbaijan did not consider postponing social projects at all. The data on the number and quality of educational institutions which launched their activities in the new academic year also reflects the consistency of the policy pursued in the educational sphere, which is one of the important areas of the social sphere.
Within the framework of state programs in the field of education implemented in the country in recent years, educational infrastructure has been significantly improved. A regulatory framework meeting the modern requirements of education has been created, and modern information and scientific methodological support has been significantly modernized. The continuation of the implementation of this policy, even in the conditions of pandemic that shook the whole world and caused the economic recession, shows that in the country's long-term development strategy, programs geared to investing capital into the future in education and science are priorities. And the dozens of schools and modular-type schools put into operation today attract attention as important components of a state-defined strategy to improve the infrastructure, material and technical framework of the sphere and thereby improve the quality of education. In the last 2 to 3 years, we have been building modular schools in small villages. This year, the construction of 16 modular schools will be provided. Thus, about 150 schools are being built and overhauled in just 1 year. I should also mention that over the past 17 years, almost 3,700 schools have been built and overhauled in Azerbaijan. This constitutes the overwhelming majority of our school fund because there are currently about 4,500 schools in Azerbaijan, of which 3,700 have received a completely new appearance and have been rebuilt. The state strategy for the development of education in the Republic of Azerbaijan, approved on October 21, 2013, is adopted as a new stage of reforms in the field of education, and important measures have been taken in this direction over the past period. Over the past 5+ years, more than 600 school buildings have been built. From 2003 to 2020, about 3,700 school buildings. The number of participants in international and Republican subject Olympiads has grown by about 5 times. The grades of students in final examinations in all subjects increased by 17%. For the first time, the experience of modular schools in remote villages was applied, and in 2017-2018, 243 such schools were given to the disposal of pupils. The steps taken cover different levels of education. Since March 1, 2019, the number of scholarships in universities funded by the state has increased by 16,000. It is envisaged to increase the number of students receiving scholarship in the 2019-2020 academic year to 45%, and starting from the 2020-2021 academic year to increase this number to 50%. In addition, the amount of scholarships for doctoral students studying in higher, secondary and professional educational institutions, as well as those undergoing master degree programs in the National Academy of Sciences, increased by an average of 20%. This measures covered more than 110,000 students and doctoral students. At the same time, the increase in the number of places ordered by the state at the bachelor's level by 66%, from 12,300 to 20,500, amounted to 42% of the total admission plan. For comparison, last year this figure was 27%. Only this latest data clearly demonstrate the concept of state that values human capital as a force for sustainable development of the future, and as it is the case in all social spheres, takes on the burden and responsibility in the field of education.
141 cases of the novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 151 people recovered and were released home. 3 citizens tested positive for the COVID-19 virus died. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 38,658 with 36,149 recoveries and 569 deaths. The number of active infections is 1,940. To detect new infection cases, 1,027,685 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan so far. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. The number of reported COVID-19 cases across the globe surpassed 29,765,000. The coronavirus killed more than 940,000 people worldwide. India and Brazil have now overtaken the United States as the world's worst performance at controlling the COVID-19 plague. World Health Organization is concerned about the increase in cases in Europe.
According to official statistics, 1,290 coronavirus patients had died in India in the last 24 hours. This figure is considered next anti-record. The number of new infections is more than 91,000. The total number of infections in the country exceeded 5 million and the death rate exceeded 82,000. The last 1 million infections occurred in just 11 days. The Council for Medical Research believes that the real figure is much higher. The United States ranks second in terms of daily deaths and infections, 1,197 and 36,500 respectively. In another country on the continent, Brazil, the death toll from the infection had risen again, 1,019 people on the last day. Daily casualties had also increased in Iran. 179 coronavirus patients died in the last 24 hours. The number of infections was 2,981. Ukraine has set an anti-record for daily deaths from COVID-19. Nearly 76 people died in one day. 2,958 people infected with the virus had been identified. The pace of the pandemic in Russia is rising again. The fact of 132 deaths from the coronavirus was registered during the day. Most of the 5,670 new infections detected in the Federation accounted for Moscow and St. Petersburg regions. The highest daily infection rate fell to statistics in Georgia. 196 coronavirus patients were detected. This gives reason to say that the number of daily infections had increased 3-4 times since September 10th. Executive Director of the World Health Organization's Health Emergencies Program, Michael Ryan, is concerned about the deteriorating situation in Europe. Meanwhile, the UN General Assembly plans to convene a session on the pandemic by December. Chairman of the UN General Assembly, Volkan Bozkır, is not supportive of online meetings, but of traditional meetings. The European Union will hold a World Summit on Health next year. This was stated by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in her annual address to the European Parliament on the situation in the Union. The head of the European Commission said that the pandemic does not show a downward trend in the European Union. For this reason, she proposed the formation of a common medical system for the countries of the Union, as well as the creation of the European Health Union, which will be engaged in the development and distribution of medicines.
That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.